the same. It's all the same, it's all the same. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. I can't call it the band podcast anymore because
we have rebranded. Welcome.
I hate that word. Blue hate that word. Rebranding. We just changed the name.
We just changed the name. Yeah.
So that's what it is. The stream is not the stream. The podcast is called Stream On, Streaming On from today. We went through a lot of ideas through the whole like non-internet month thing, which we'll get into, of course. But first of all, we gotta apologize. We haven't been able to do a podcast this year. Like this.
Yeah, this is gonna be the first one of 2021.
It's been this year. Like that first like 2 months, I remember like of this year was just bonkers, and just for me personally, like work stuff, and then
moving and
then we moved.
Yeah, it's been a very, very eventful month for us, which we will talk about. So
and then we got into and during that time, we decided, band podcast is like, it makes sense, but nobody can ever find it unless they know the name Blluist, because I've typed in band podcast and just lists of band podcasts, like things
like
that are banned.
That were like banned.
Come
so
up.
we thought like, okay, maybe not the best idea.
Yeah, and we thought of a couple of ideas, and if you notice, for the audio listeners, our image is also different too. We actually took we have just a notebook full of ideas for the name, and we just wrote them all out, crossed it out, and it's like as raw as it gets. It's like, so those, if you can kind of see through the scribbles, those are the ideas we had. I think there's like Blluist cast in there, which is like the first one. We started from there, and then we're like, well, we want to
we had a few different ideas, which we end up scrapping just because like some didn't sound right, or maybe it didn't roll off the tongue well enough. Like, we wanted something that it didn't really necessarily have the name Blluist in there, and so I don't even remember how we came up with Stream On, Streaming On. I know it was from Keep On Keeping On, but
we took a shower and I got out, and I specifically remember seeing your Death Stranding art book on the coffee table, and I was just thinking of more ideas, and I was like, they say that a lot, and there was a documentary called Keep On Keeping On, and I really, really liked that, and so I was like, maybe can we do something? And I started rhyming words, and then I first thought of Keep On Streaming On, and then I was like, how about that? And you said, oh, that was a good idea, but I was like, it just sounds like keep on streaming. Like, that's not, the fact that it's keep on keeping on and it's the same word twice has that like specific ring to just like keep on doing it. And it kind of like, this still is an audio kind of like a retrospect of the month. Everything's still going to stay the same. But it's kind of become this thing where, you just got to keep on streaming, like the message behind keep on keeping on is the same. It has the same energy. You know exactly what the podcast is because it says stream twice in it right off the bat. So I thought it was a good idea, and I wrote some stuff out, and then went through some ideas for like what we should make the profile picture or the image, and I think it looks good. I think it's on it's on this video, right? It's up top right there.
The logo's up top. Yeah.
So that's it. This stream is called Stream On, Streaming On. Welcome to episode 25, I think it is. And again, sorry we haven't done it in a while. We're back though, new place. We just had our first duo stream. We had your solo stream. Got the internet. Biggest reason why we couldn't do anything for the month besides just streaming from a mobile phone is because we moved, and we're gonna start from there, right?
Yep.
Wow.
So how was how was the move for you?
Hella scary to start off with. Like, I was terrified of because we were actually at a place where it was actually kind of at a declining place for us. right before the move, and there was a little bit of frustration before the move, if you remember.
When you mean decline, what
Talking
do you
about
mean?
numbers. I'm talking about just numbers. It was kind of that, and it happens every year at some point. Usually it happens at the end of last year, the end of the year before, and it wasn't really a decline, but I think I was just feeling really low. So everything it had to do with like how I was feeling personally, but I wasn't feeling too confident about streaming. Biggest reason why we didn't stream any games for, like, before even stream, we were just doing just chatting all the time because I just couldn't get myself to stream a game.
It was a lot of like game burnout. We just weren't feeling like we were just not interested in playing games.
No.
The last few months, we just couldn't. We don't. I never know why that happens.
Yeah.
But I always have, every year I always have that period where I just don't want to play games. I'm interested in a lot of games. It's not because I can't find a game I want to play or I want to stream. It's just more like I'm just not interested in playing a game.
Yeah, I guess one game we can talk about during that time is Apex. We found Apex during that time, and it was just playing. I just thought about Apex all the time. So, which is, I started feeling this kind of the same negative spiral as Final Fantasy 14, where the game is fantastic, everything, it's really cool. We got a lot of people to get to play it. We got to know people through the game, and we still love the game and everything. But I get very addicted to these things, and it's a very new type of game. It's very exciting. It was my first battle royale too. I've never really played FPS games, competitive FPS games, multiplayer, all that stuff. It just kind of I experienced all that at once, and I kind of got addicted to it, and I stopped thinking about streaming, and it was that, and it's to be real, unless that's like your thing, and even people that have Apex as their main thing, from what we've seen, it's a really hard game to stream because it's a really quiet game. So it's action packed, but if you're not familiar with the game, or it's just not your type of thing, it's one of those games that it's hard. Even if you really like the streamer and you support them, you don't want to watch it. Like, and I completely understand that, because I would never watch an Apex, like if someone playing Apex for 10 hours, if I had no interest in the game whatsoever, because the streamer doesn't talk as much.
Yeah, because
right?
it does. I think games like Apex or any other battle royale or any other game where you're playing with other people, like real people, and you're playing against real people, it requires a lot of focus, and it requires a lot of, I guess, well, you have to talk to your teammates too. And so the more you talk to your teammates and the more you're focusing on the game, your focus from stream, like from chat and everything, becomes less and less. And so I think that's what's so difficult about PvP games, is that you have to dedicate so much of your time in the game, like a lot of your focus in the game, that it takes away a lot from the stream, or it takes away from chatting. And if you're a big streamer, I think it works, because you can't really read chat, because this chat's going so fast, and people are there not to talk to you. They're more like talking to each other within the community and commenting on what this person on screen is doing. But unless you get to that really big numbers, or like unless you get to that point where a chat is more like, I guess, experiencing watching somebody together as a chat instead of being there for just I guess to talk to the streamer, I think it becomes very, very difficult, because then now you're just watching something. You're just watching like a Netflix, like even like something on Netflix, like you're just watching a show, and you're kind of losing that interaction part that makes Twitch so special. I guess, well, streaming so special. And well, of course you can talk when there's not much going on in the game, and you could talk when maybe like in between matches and stuff, and of course that always works. But if the like one match tends to be kind of long, and so if you're really focused for that whole match, then there's that whole match of just, I guess, focus. And yeah, and like Gray said, if you're not into the game, then why would you want to watch someone super focused in this game that you have no interest in for 30-40 minutes per match?
Absolutely,
yeah, I think that's what makes games like that so difficult. Even though we're having a lot of fun and we really, really enjoy, like, we know that it's not everyone's cup of tea. And that was the same issue with 14 too, because with 14 you're playing with other people as well, and so you have to focus on especially like with raids and whatnot, you do have to focus on the game. And if you mess up the whole team. And so that requires a lot of focus and dedication as well. And so I think that's the same thing. If you're not into 14, like, who wants to watch you prance around and avoid AoEs? So I think it's a similar kind of issue.
It's and then 14 has a really cool thing where you can actually, by the design of the game, you can actually kind of incorporate a whole like just chatting vibe within the game.
Yeah.
So, you know, we've thought about doing things before, like it never came to fruition, but like we were gonna do like a podcast, you know, with our avatars in 14, you know, like, and stuff like that, because it just looks like an avatar. There's so many people there. It's almost like a village. It's like a community there. So and there's a lot of like creative freedom. I think one of my favorite things that we did was we did one of the Heaven on High, the one where you just go up and up and up the tower, and then it just gets harder and harder. But which is like, it's really fun to do when you get to like the higher levels, because everyone's just like difficult, screaming at each other, and everyone's like, it's like one hit kill, and you gotta do everything over again. And then we did that first person. We tried it first person mode, and
you can't see anything.
That was like one of the last 14 streams we did, and I enjoyed it so much. But
so there's always perks to those games too, because it does make it new. The great thing about games like 14, or a great thing about Apex, or like and playing with other people, playing with real people, the good thing, that the perk of that is every game is different. Yeah, you can't really anticipate, and there's like a lot of like, I guess, spontaneous things that happen in that game, and I think that's what makes it fun, is so you have all these new reactions every time you play a game, or you play a match. And so that is one thing that's one of the things, I guess, that's good about games like that.
So with that, we had a lot. I was starting to see the problem in myself. Had to step back, and of course with that comes with, you know, the numbers do decline. People don't chat as much, and it's and then we try to do stuff like we try to incorporate gacha into it. We try to incorporate kind of like this more fun, festive feeling of any game into that's common in other games, you know. Especially with like Genshin gacha, how that was like super meta. That was like really like a fun time. We thought we could do that with Apex, especially because we were new. People weren't really watching us because it was skill based, but it was more fun based. I really wanted
the heirloom.
Yeah, and it was a really and we got a really great video out of that. Like it was just a really fun thing, and we still really liked the game. So it was like that. We're going into that. That's all I could think about. I was like, I want to stream, but I don't know. It's like I want to stream. I love streaming. I don't know what I'm going to stream. And then boom, we don't have internet for the next month. And when I found out about that, I've mentioned it so many times on stream, but I was so angry that we couldn't get internet because, well, they lied to us saying it's going to take this certain amount of time, but it was actually more, it was double that once they locked me into the contract. Or they didn't lock me in, but it was at a point where it was either that, or if I started calling other people, it was going to be 1 month from that point, which was going to be even further.
Because we stopped calling people because they told us, oh, we'll get it to you faster than everyone else. But it's actually probably as long, or maybe even longer than other places that we might have found. But it was way too late for us to call other places. So it's like, okay, fine, we'll stick with a month and a half.
So the move happened. We moved in, all the boxes are in, and the first thing we thought was we need to get as much content as we can. And just kind of make, because my goal at the beginning for 2021 is to make, and I mentioned it before, is to make streaming more part of my daily life. And I was like, we couldn't film a lot of, we were hesitant to film our house. And towards the end, when we knew we were going to move and stuff, we didn't really give a shit, and we just filmed everything. But we wanted to make a situation where as soon as we move into the new place, we're not scared, or we don't feel bad about filming our place. So first stream, we filmed it from our place. There was nothing here. There's boxes everywhere.
Yeah, we didn't even have a bed the first day, so I don't know if you were there for the first stream in this apartment, you saw me sitting with like our sleeping bags and showing you where we slept. We slept on the carpeted floor in sleeping bags, and it was I do not want to sleep on the floor ever again. I am 30. I don't think my body can take it.
Yeah.
But I mean, and then of course I experienced what, like 7 Fs or something. The connection was terrible, so I was like sort of freaking out.
And
Just-
Fs are when you lose connection to the stream. For people that don't know, it means that like your connection gets, and there's a ton of problems. Like people might be like, "Who cares? Just turn it back on." But as a streamer, it
It's
sucks
very stressful.
because the main reason why is because there's people that lurk in chat that just have you, and it shows you how much people are watching you, and that goes to 0 as soon as you F. So then you got to start from 0. And yeah, I know it's not
just
good to think
numbers.
about numbers, but when you mobile stream, you can't turn off the option, or we don't know how to turn off the option on the Streamlabs mobile app to not show you your number
So
constantly.
you're staring at that number while you're streaming.
'Cause you gotta look at the
you're seeing
camera,
it go
which is your
up
phone.
and down, up and down.
Yeah.
And then you also see your connection go up and down, and it's like the more waves it has, like, oh no, the stream must be so jittery. Like people are not gonna watch this. No one's gonna wanna watch something so scuffed, like so bad quality. That I was really worried that people would leave, and I was also worried like, oh no, like stream, just my connection ran out. Like, am I gonna be able to go back and stream again, or is my phone not gonna let me anymore for some reason? Like, can I even go live? Can I? So
What that all did though was here. The conclusion to all that was that it was fantastic, and we probably got the best numbers we've ever gotten on this stream on a month basis. I think we
were able to get to hundreds.
Yeah, we averaged like very close, if not hundreds, every day for a month, and
That's huge.
that's like
We've never gotten
for
an average
us,
of 100.
That's
So
without raids either, and sometimes we got raids and stuff like that, but on just a normal basis, just like going out cooking and stuff. I started cooking a lot on the stream. We started doing Gunpla, and thanks to you guys, like all these ideas were like thrown by you guys, and we kind of try to do our own little twist to it. We did the whole like Monster Hunter Dango thing that was super fun. The fish grill, which had so much hype for some reason when we mentioned we were gonna get a fish grill, and we got to do that. And a lot of people were like, so now that you're back to death streaming, are you not? The reason why I told you guys that I was feeling down is to assure you guys and people that like the IRL stuff that we're gonna do it, because in this month, if we found out anything, it's that we have another option to do that when we get burnt out. And it's so liberating as somebody that sits down in front of their screen all day and play these games. And that doesn't mean I'm gonna get to how the first stream was, because holy crap, that was like my favorite stream that I did. It Takes Two was like that first stream. We haven't done the second stream yet but because we're filming this the day after our first duo stream. But oh my god, I'll get into that later, but it might be a long podcast.
we have a lot to talk about. So.
But I'm so happy that we did that, and
I am too, because I think it really helped our mood too. Like it gave us the necessary like I guess it was like a refresh. Like we were able to refresh kind of our thinking when it came to not games, but streaming in general, and it helped us lift our mood up a little bit more, because we were feeling that burnout at the end of last year, and we weren't feeling like playing games and whatnot, and this kind of gave us the opportunity to want to, like, we were looking forward to streaming games because we couldn't. And so I think it gave us this great opportunity to be like, okay, we can't play games right now. And so the more we couldn't play, the more we knew we couldn't stream games, the more we wanted to.
Yeah.
And so I think now we really want to stream games really bad. And I think that's kind of the perk of it all.
I think so too.
And so I think it really helped in that sense. And also, like, it did help in us, figuring out new things we could stream. I mean, it gave me a new hobby. I'm really into Gunpla, and I do want to keep making that, because I haven't finished all of them. So there's a guarantee that we will keep doing those kind of streams. And now we have a really nice kitchen and dining room, so we can do a lot more than our previous place. Like, our living room is actually livable.
It's awesome. Yeah. And I think one of the best things about it was that these aren't IRL streams that we were doing. What I wanted to do was, I didn't want to burn out thinking of ideas and not do them. Like, think of this like super elaborate IRL thing and go off, maybe like go way above what we normally do. Which the problem with that is that it might be hot for that moment, but you're never going to replicate it ever again. and I didn't want to do something that might be fun but is going to be hard to replicate on a daily basis. Doing a couple events, something big during the year, that's fine, that's awesome, but I think we wanted to really, really hone in on finding new possibilities to do things that were as normal, mundane, things that aren't out of our reach, things that are in our comfort zone, that we can. It's still in our comfort zone, but it's different. Maybe we didn't think about it. I didn't really want to cook on stream because I didn't want to show our kitchen in the last place, but I don't care anymore in this new place. So in that sense, it's outside the comfort zone, but not really, because it's a new place, and it's like making a new impression for yourself when you go from high school to college. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I don't have that. Like, I don't have that barrier anymore. And the best thing about this is that we can just replicate all this stuff. It's not hard to do. We just take you guys, we go somewhere, it could be a date, and then we just take you guys on there. Or we can, if you want to go buy something, like we went to go buy a freaking fan. We went to go buy a fan, right? If I tell my parents that, like, who the fuck's gonna want to watch that? But I think there's a way to make that interesting and fun, kind of like a little trip outside. And I think it's just that people get to see Japan, because they're spending so much time indoors, and so are we. So it's good for us too, and it's just easy to replicate. It helps us out on so many motivational levels. Like you said, it makes me want us to game. It also does good for our numbers, and it's just I don't see any negatives, which is gnarly, because I thought I was gonna be like, yeah, I like this and this, but me being bored on a Sunday off day, being like, I don't know what to do, I want to play games, is so fucking minuscule compared to the great, amazing, like, just what the positives that we found. And it was, here's the thing, how they say, like, you fake it till you make it, kind of similar to that, where I was telling myself and you that it's gonna be fine, and we're gonna do this before the moves. Like, we're not gonna get internet, but we're gonna do it. It's gonna be fine. We're gonna be creative. We should think of it as a blessing, because streamers don't get this opportunity to get the internet taken away. And right, like, that's what I kept saying to you verbatim. You did. Because I knew that, and I didn't think that. I didn't fucking think that when I was doing that. Like, I was just like, I need to say something to make sure that we can keep going. But
and boost our morale, kind of thing.
Because we're so tired from the move already. How the heck are we gonna, like, keep the motivation up if I'm not, if we're not gonna, if we don't even have what we normally do? We don't have access to, like, our daily grind, right? Like, our cubicle's gone. Like, our job is gone. So we have
to get creative.
Yeah, and absolutely, like, fantastic. Like, can't think of a better thing, better reset. And it was the positive mindset that I lied to myself about, and I started to kind of like, it kind of started like take over, and I was like, wait, it is true. We should be doing this, like it. And so I think, all in all, the move, not having internet for 35 days, I'm so glad. It worked out
for the better.
And we're in a new place. We feel good about our personal lives. We eat healthier now.
Like, it was a great reset.
Yeah, so I think the move was fantastic, and now we're here finally doing a podcast, which I've been wanting to do, but I just could not. I was not in a mental place to be able to do it after just, like, work stuff and stream stuff. And people that do this stuff constantly are just gods. Okay, they're like, there's people that just keep pumping out content, and I just don't know how they do it. We're just very normal people that, if anything, on the weaker side. So it's I'm glad we can do it. We're both in a really good place right now to be able to do this, and I'm really stoked that we get to be back, and we have some stuff lined up that we want to be doing until the end of the year, and we can't wait to show you guys what the crazy weird things that we've been thinking of doing. So yeah, it's been awesome. So we're back. How was your first stream back?
So I streamed a day before you did, because our first day was on a Friday, and so it was my solo stream. And I said this on stream already, but I was like all planned. I was like, okay, Mass Effect is coming out on that day, so I'm gonna get up early. I'm gonna go to my computer and download everything before stream, right? And then I realized, oh no, it it releases Thursday in America, not Thursday in Japan. So
Whoops.
Friday, yeah. So my hype for Mass Effect was still here, but the delivery was like gone.
Yeah,
Because
right.
I couldn't play it. So it's like, you know what? Let's play other games.
You have to pipe it into a different game at that point.
So I ended up playing Monster Hunter, and I was gonna play Apex, but I ended up liking. I ended up getting to play Monster Hunter with a bunch of people, and I was like, oh my god, I could play games with people again. And so I ended up playing Monster Hunter for a while. Like I think I streamed Monster Hunter a lot longer than I thought I would, but I remember being very, very excited to be back. I think my energy level was like off my usual energy level. They saw a blue that you don't even see much.
I was watching the stream for about 10 seconds and I had to close out of fear because I was like, I don't know how it's gonna be. Like I was scared. And then I came back and I was like, yeah, I don't know how you did. You don't have to tell me. Did you have fun?
Yeah.
And then you were just like super giddy and I was like, okay, it went well. That's awesome. That's awesome.
And so I had a really good time. It was a little weird because when I first started streaming, I was like, wait, why is my mic not going through? It's like, oh, I have to turn the mic on. It's like, wait, why is there no game sound? Oh, right, I have to plug shit in. Like, oh, right, I have to pop this out. Like, there's so many things that I kind of not really forgot because I mean, we've been doing this for what, 3 years now?
Yeah.
But because I've been doing mobile streams for a month, and all you do for mobile streams is you press a button and then you're good to go. And so there was a little bit before stream because I was like, oh, it's 10, let's go. But then I was like, wait, this isn't working. It's like, wait, what am I doing? And I was able to get everything set up. But for a few seconds before stream started, it's like, wait, how do I do this again?
I was super nervous. Yeah, so yesterday was you had a smoother ride than I did emotionally because yesterday was my first day.
Yeah.
And I went to the bathroom before I went to, we switched on stream and I was like, Blue, I don't know if I can do this. Like,
you were giving yourself like a little pep talk.
Like, I don't know if I can, of course I can do this, but I realized that I was like nervous for the first time in so long to go live. When I did the lockdown twice with Kuroken and Joey, I was really nervous the night before. But once I got there and I saw those guys and we just started talking, I wasn't nervous to go live. I couldn't wait to go hit that live button. I was terrified for you to hit that live button yesterday. And I was just like trying to be myself, but I wasn't. It just felt like I was super out of character. Once the game started, it was fine, but back in the grind. But it just feels so different. We've been streaming for a month, but just sitting in front of the PCs, just having all the stuff that I used to have in a completely new place.
It was a little surreal.
Yeah, like it just felt, I was really nervous. And I think it's just, I guess I was just way more normal gray, off-stream gray when I did the IRL stuff, that there was a moment where I was like, yeah, switch it on. I really got to switch it on. Like, I feel like I've been a lot more, like, I would just be like lying around, like in the IRL streams, I'd be like, okay, I'm tired. I'm
just
gonna
go lie on the bed.
and have the selfie stick with you guys. Like, it's just a complete different vibe. And so I was a little nervous, but I'm really glad. Like,
I mean, it was also that, and plus the fact that we have a new intro screen and ending screen and everything, and that kind of made the stream feel even like more different. I guess it just seemed new.
Yeah.
And so I think it was almost like you got a new job, and that was your first day at a new job kind of thing.
And of course, we had our first technical difficulties within about 10 seconds into the stream where the mic stopped working.
Yep.
And that really helped, actually, where I was like, okay, this is
normal stream, normal Blluist stream.
Yeah, I'm still interning at Blluist. I forgot. Still 3-year intern at Blluist. So it was just kind of like just back on gear. And I think, and what really, really helped was that the first game that we got to play was almost a game that was like, to me personally, was like, this game was made for us to stream this game.
It's
and
like, they know us so well.
And it's just that good of a game. I'm sure like everybody that plays that game, or most people that play that game, feel that way.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's just such a good. We played It Takes Two. We're still halfway through it at the point that we're filming this podcast. but
We haven't finished the story yet.
whole
But
like blows my mind. Like it's
everything
like
we've seen is just, it's amazing. They've made everything co-op. Like, you have to depend on each other so much to the point where you just can't, like, if one person just zooms past and just goes and what, they hit like a wall where you can't progress at all if you just go and leave the other person. So it is so dependent on each other. It's amazing. Like, even little things is dependent on each other. I think it's really cool.
it's because we've always just been playing games co-op. There's a site, I think it's called like Co-Optimist or something like that. It just shows you all the co-op games, and like you can check out which one's couch co-op, which one's split screen, blah blah blah.
This is local.
And it seems like the person that made the game, the people that made A Way Out, which is also a really good
That's
game.
a great game too. Yeah.
It's like that a person that either just lives on that website or made the website, took all the games, the best games on that website, and executed it perfectly into this one co-op game. And it was completely different from what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I thought it was just going to be a fun cute puzzle game. The charm is just off the charts. It makes me feel like I'm in a freaking Pixar movie.
I mean, I'm still convinced that the guy character is actually you.
Yeah, it's
So I bet there's a camera in this apartment somewhere recording you, Gray.
that character.
Yeah.
I
It's
relate
you.
to him so much.
I know,
the
'cause
little
he's
like
you.
dumb jokes that he makes and stuff. Like, this is what I would say. So it's really easy for me to get into the characters. It's really easy for me to just kind of, and it keeps you really curious because the story itself is it's as of now very dark, and so it's kind of a dark overtone, and it kind of has that too. Like, you're curious about the story, the gameplay is super fun. There's so many different things that they do. Like, if you have somebody that you're playing with a game, the friend, significant other, coworker, whatever, and you're not enjoying the game, you probably hate that person. Like, that's a sign. If you can't enjoy that game, it's like, and you like those kind of games, like you've been playing those kind of games and you're kind of used to it, it's, I don't know, it's just really hard to not like that game as somebody we've always been looking for co-op games. I don't know what the single player experience is like, but for co-op, like,
You can't play single player.
Oh, you can't?
Yeah, you have to play it with somebody.
Okay.
And so you have to have a friend to play it with. And I think it's one of those games you can play with your parents, you can play with your kids, you can play it with anyone, really. As long as I think it's not like it's super complicated to the point where someone can't pick it up and play it.
Yeah.
And I can see, like, if I was still living with my mom, it's something I would make my mom play with me. I think that'd be really fun too.
Right.
It's,
You can play with your parents too. Yeah, that's true.
I think it's a really cute. It's very cute, I think it's really charming.
It makes you. It's one of those games that you find yourself, like, maybe not laughing out loud. Like, I laughed aloud because, like, I do really like unfortunate
kept
stuff.
launching me into walls.
Yeah, and stuff like that is also fun too. But just like the little things, the little jokes, the little like characters that come out, like these, like, you find yourself just smiling through. At least we played 8 hours of it, and I'm just smiling through, like, all of it. It's just like these little things. When you finally hit the point where you're like, okay, cool down, they do this little thing or add a new character, or you're in a tree house, like, it's like, which is just these exciting stages. The music is great, that you just find yourself just like with a little smile, and it's just like, it's just that consistently, like, just the whole time. And it's just, we ended at a place where we're like, this is the hypest thing for us personally, and then we stopped there because we thought, we
gotta save that hype for next time, right?
Yeah, and it's a long game too. Like, it's not like
it's like
a 3-hour game.
Yeah,
it's hard to do all that and
it's
keep
like a
it consistent.
full-fledged co-op game. It's great.
Yeah, and I think it's
exactly what we were looking for.
And we know more than, like, anyone, that co-op is a dying genre. Like, couch co-op is it's so hard to find these days.
It is.
There's like online co-op for games and stuff like that, but like couch co-op is just really hard to find a good couch co-op game. There's more coming out here and there, but it's a very still like a rare scene. So it's really, really nice, and we were just really enjoying it. And the point is that to come back to that game is also such, like, we were super lucky that we didn't play it because it came out like 2 or 3 days. Like, it started getting hype like 2 or 3 days before we moved, and we thought about playing it.
Yeah.
And I said, we just do it when we get to the new place. best decision because it's just like such an easy
a great
game.
game to get into.
It's just like the hype is the game is so hype. It's just like a hype stream game for our dynamic, like especially.
It shows the great part of our stream.
Yeah.
It shows like the part that we want to show, which is the fact that we are a duo stream.
Yeah.
And it's a perfect game to showcase that. So for those people who never seen us play games on stream, for those who came in during our mobile streams and who was only there when we were doing just chatting streams and whatnot, they can experience what it's like to play games with these two people, which is us. Yeah.
It's really, really good. So I know
and how chaotic.
The stream is not sponsored by.
It is not. We're talking a lot of good things about it, but point is
really great way to come back. Like, thank you guys so much for supporting throughout that month, and it's been a ride. It's gonna get better, and we're gonna keep doing a
lot of things planned.
So. Yeah, so I think it's gonna be
look forward to it.
Absolutely. So that's pretty much it for our the first part, I guess. We're gonna get into questions from subs. What we do on this podcast is we have a Discord channel for subs to ask questions to us, and there might be like in-depth questions that might be hard to ask on stream, longer questions that we might not get to. So we take this opportunity for you guys to ask us, and then we'll try to go through as many as we can and try to answer honestly. And here we go. So the thing
after
is,
questions, there is one other thing I want to talk about.
Okay.
So we'll get into that afterwards.
If you want to talk about it now, you can talk about it now, unless it's better if it's at the end of the podcast.
I mean, no, I guess I can just mention it now, but so we had our first sponsor stream.
Oh yeah.
A few months before we moved.
That's actually in the questions. One of the things that's why I didn't mention
I guess
it.
I'll leave it for questions.
Yeah. So we had a question about that. So sorry.
First question.
First question's from actually in January.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, Fuchan, that you guys. So I'm curious about the evolution of the. So this comes from Fuchan. I'm curious about the evolution of the podcast itself. All these questions could also apply to YouTube videos. These are just some questions to generate thoughts. Don't need to answer these specifically, or if there's anything something entirely different you want to say on the subject. Okay, so here's the question. How has it changed since you started recording it? What issues have you faced, both technical difficulties or personal or otherwise? It's obviously a very different format and content from something like streaming on Twitch. Did you find it easy to pick up, or what did you have to learn fresh? You have the intro song on band, but is there any particular reason you've chosen to largely not use other extra bits like outros or mid-vid pre-records? Or do you go into recording with any kind of script? What are your thoughts on editing in general? How are you going about distributing the podcast to different platforms currently? And do you have any particular likes or dislikes about doing so? Awesome questions.
There's a lot of good questions. Has it changed since you started recording it? I mean,
not really.
Aside from just the change of name and whatnot, no, not really. And it is still just an audio journal for us, for sure.
Podcast. We started doing podcast questions. That was neat.
That was new.
We try to incorporate you guys as much as we can, and that was something new.
Another thing is just at the beginning, we were recording for ourselves, but it turned into us releasing it to you guys.
Yeah.
So that's a new thing. But other than that, nothing recent, nothing major, or anything like that.
Did you find it easy to pick up? I just listened to podcasts, and we just had all the equipment already, so it was really easy to pick up. A lot easier on audio. Now that we do video, it's just, I wish we could actually have a set and actually we're just using webcams, so it's still very bare bones. So that's definitely somewhere I want to improve in the future, but it's pretty much, it was really easy to pick up. Streaming was way harder to set everything up. You have the intro song on band, but is there any particular reason you chose no reason why we didn't choose to do an outro or midtro. I just thought I wrote that this little jingle. I thought it'd be a nice way to start it, because it's just really awkward starting a podcast and
without anything.
Yeah, so I just added that. We just made it, and I was like, Blue, you're gonna sing, and then you're gonna sing with me, and then we'll get Anu voice, so it's we're all singing, and then just a little fun little thing. No real reason why there's no other ones.
Podcast isn't our main content either, so it's not something we want to dedicate a lot of our a ton of our time into either. It should just be, it is still a side project to us, and we do want to keep it as a side project as well. It's
growing, so it's definitely people really like the podcast. They do,
So it's really cool. if it gets to the point where we need to make it even more or more professional looking and whatnot, we can incorporate it. But for now, I think it's like a cute, fun little podcast for you guys.
Do you go into recording with any kind of script? We put our questions, things that we want to talk about, just like bullet points, and we'll have like Blue right now has got the questions up right now.
The questions up,
I have you guys right here on the screen. So that's about it.
We don't have a script. We don't prep or we don't really like
points,
practice what we say or anything. This is all very just turn the recording on and then talk to each other kind of thing. Discuss things.
What are your thoughts on editing in general? People that can edit are gods, and
they're gods.
I don't.
Because it is so hard.
I've done the little editings here and there for stuff. It's just so much patience. It's just the stuff that the nitty gritty stuff that just like drives me insane. That and people that can do it well, like and like our YouTube videos, like Alfred used to do them before. I did the other stuff, and then now we have Roy Nobody to do the video edits, like fantastic edits, and like it's just like I can't.
The editors we've had, they're both amazing.
They're all like wow, like
they know our humor. They can make like non-funny bits into like super hilarious segments, and they have a gift that we do not have.
And my favorite thing is that you can really tell that they like the stream. And it like especially like the essential Blluist stuff, where it was all these community inside jokes that are still funny to people that are seeing it for the first time. It really shows Blluist, I think, in the best way, and it's hard to find that if it's an editor that doesn't actually know you, because you just have hours and hours of content. So it's either you do it yourself or you have somebody that's really close by. You're lucky enough that someone close by is good enough. And Roy was somebody that used to do these little Twitter clips for us, and we were looking for an editor, and we were like, this guy's really good. Funny story, we asked him once. He said he wasn't ready, and he denied it once because he said,
like, no,
I can't do it. Like,
can't do it.
I'm not up to, I can't bat for that. Like, it's
too much pressure.
I'm not that good. And then we're like, Roy, we've seen what you've done, and I think if you want to use us as like just you getting better, if you want to keep doing this, and you can just use us as kind of like a way to practice, and then you'll get a little bit of like pocket change with that too, and then I think it'd be, just consider it.
And we're like, we're not asking anyone else, like it's you and that we want other editor, so just let us know.
And then we went back to him, I think like a month later, and he was like, I was gonna ask about that, like I think I'm ready. And then that's when he started doing the videos. I'm like, so
and he's fucking killing it.
He's killing it.
So
he's starting to do videos for other streamers too, like fucking, it's amazing. Like he's got it. What are your thoughts going about distributing podcasts different platforms currently? Right now we use a website called Anchor.fm that we post it there, and then they'll distribute it to Spotify, iTunes, and all this stuff. So it's free too. So it's if anybody's trying to start a podcast, highly recommend Anchor.fm to distribute your podcast. And do you have any particular likes about everything about the podcast in general, besides the fact that I wish we could have a better setup, and it's hard to set up nothing really. We're trying to right now with what we have and the quality that we put it out, which isn't like super high quality. It's the most efficient way. We take a video, we take the audio from that video, and then make an audio. I just make a thumbnail and then put up on as a video, because we started making videos of the podcast. I think although it takes some time to export and blah 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 all that stuff, because it's like hour and a half long content, it's still the most efficient way. And I think I like podcasts and doing these enough that that's like not a really big problem for me. How about you?
I mean, we're also splitting the job too, so it makes it even faster, because I'm the one I edit the videos, and like or I guess I edit the podcast, and so I'm the one like extracting stuff or extracting the audio. I'm putting in the intro song and whatnot, and then while I'm working on that, Gray works on making a thumbnail, clipping us out of pictures and whatnot, and then putting in the title card. and editing the video description and title and everything. So we're kind of splitting the job. And so by the time I'm done editing videos and whatnot, he's done with all the thumbnails and extra stuff that we need for Anchor and whatnot as well. So it makes the process very quick because it's 2 people.
Yeah, relatively. Yeah. And then you like do like a 10-minute YouTube video, like holy crap, this thing exports like so fast.
Yeah.
Compared to this, and it's like, oh yeah, because the podcast is like an hour long.
Yeah. All right, so next question is also from Fuchan. Hey. And it says, what are some aspects of Japanese culture, either modern or traditional, that you think most foreigners are unaware of?
Well, that's a good one. I'm sure we've been asked this many times, but what something? Do you have something?
Aspects of Japanese culture.
We mentioned this a lot, but our politeness comes from just being Japanese people being passive, and also has something to do with our language. We have like a professional Japanese, casual Japanese, and just with all that put together, we seem polite. We are professional, but the like politeness thing that I hear about is just they just don't want anything to do with you. Like,
and
think
so
of it.
They're basically trying to get rid of you in the quickest way possible, which makes it sound terrible, but it's not always from a place of niceness or kindness.
Yeah,
it's just from, okay, yeah, sure, I'll help you out, so can you leave me alone?
I said it in a terrible way on purpose, but it just means I don't want trouble. You don't want trouble. Let's just go our own ways. This is kind of like, like I don't want, we have our own lives. And
everyone's very private here.
Yeah,
and
private.
So of course, like if you ask a question, they will be more than happy. Most people will be more than happy to answer questions, or if you need help getting somewhere, or you just don't know how to work a train ticket machine, then I bet something like they will help you. But it's not because they're so kind in helping other people out. They're like, oh yeah, I'll help you out. Like, it's not like that. It's more like just, yeah, of course. I mean, of course, as a decent human being, I will help you out. But that's all I'm gonna do is I'll help you to the degree of you just leaving me alone in the future, kind of thing.
And
yeah,
this is not gonna be new to you, Fuchan, but because I've mentioned this before, anime is still niche in Japan. And being an anime fan is not something that's like. It's still like kind of I wouldn't say
not just anime either,
but like
it's games too.
Yeah, games too.
It's still a very niche thing. Not everyone plays it.
Humongous people, like a lot of people play it. Don't get me wrong. Still like huge, like very big, like industry here. Don't get us wrong. Like, but I think it's still like not. Sometimes you like talk to people and like, do you play games? And they're like. Not really. Like,
it's like I play mobile games.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah.
Like on the train ride, kind of thing. Not many people play video games.
All right, on a long-term basis, how are you doing with burnout? I know playing one game can get boring, lack of better. What about other broad sense? Any variety? Okay, so I guess that kind of like we answered that kind of question in the beginning. But yeah, like we were forced to add that variety and can't be happier with that. All right, so the next question's from Marty. Mindless Marty. I'm not sure Gray has already shown his guitar, but what guitar does he own? I have a D17, I believe. It's either D17 or a D19 electric acoustic guitar. Also, can you show the guitar to us? I can show it to you guys on the stream. Yeah. I got another one. I'm having some trouble finding new music, but I can also count with the help of DJ Grenelius. How do you find new music bands these days? Okay, so Spotify. You just look at the four fans of page. You look at it, you find a band that you like, and then you go to YouTube, and then you see if they either have like one of those like in session like live videos. For me, watching a band play, even though if it's edited to like like to the ends of the world, even if it's like not live, just watching like the whole like desktop sessions, right? The NPR Tiny Desk is really good. I feel like live bands got Audio Tree. We have the Waiting Rooms, White Elephant. Like these sessions, if I can find a session on there, I'll check if I like that, and if I like it, I'll watch a set, and then because they'll play a group of songs that they believe is the best to, it's not a live show where they play like 10 songs, so they put in like their personal favorites. Those like 5 songs that they play are specifically songs that they want people to hear, so they're gonna pick the best songs, right? So I listen to that, and it's edited really well, so it sounds good. And then I'll find the EPs that band, where that's from and stuff like that. So I go Spotify, and then go to YouTube, see if I can find a live session of it, and then cycle through. And then YouTube, maybe it's in the related, and then find that. It's been really hard because I haven't really done that in a while, but actually being on Twitch and wanting to find more music has made me want to find more music, so it's been good. We've been recently listening to a band called Valley a lot. Valley's a really good band.
Yeah.
They used to kind of sound like Vampire Weekend, and then now they sound a lot more modern.
More poppy.
More poppy, but really, really good.
Yeah, they're really good.
Check out Valley, yeah. So then we have
next question's from Matt. What
Sean.
is it like to have something you say become immortalized?
You laugh at it for a bit. I don't regret any of it, but I mean, it's that
You've said some interesting things.
digital tattoo.
Yep.
The thing is, I don't have that much weight in what I say yet, because like we just laugh about it, right? And then I'm sure it's gonna like bite me in the ass if we get bigger, and then it's like, remember that one time that you said something about like rice and something racist or something like that? Like something about racist about Asians or something like that, or it's good. But I'd rather just be myself and just like own up to it when that happens. And I think it's fun to watch. I love laughing at myself. It's just something that I really like. I don't mind doing, and it's fun, and everyone's having fun, and I just like when I see like people emoting just like, great, what the fuck, like, you know, SMH, and then people are like laughing. Like, it, to me, I love that. Even if they're laughing at me, laughing with me, it doesn't really matter. Like, I like myself enough that I like laughing at myself. And
yeah,
so I'm fine with it for now. You know, I don't know, man. Like, it might bite me in the butt in the future, but for now I don't really think about it, man. I just say whatever I want. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm still at a point where I kind of watch what I say on stream to a certain extent. I mean, I'm actually, no, not really. I've said some stuff recently.
See, but the thing is,
know.
We're not the type of people that, if you let us loose, like, we're just gonna start like saying terrible things. Like,
yeah.
Us letting us loose is just saying like just dumb stuff, but it's not. It's never anything bad. So I don't have that.
Bad. But then again, like I said, hide. I mean, I said I was hiding it, but I don't think I am, because I did go into very extensive detail about how much I want Revenant and some dirty things. So
that's fun.
Yeah.
That's
so I think
just honest.
I don't know. It's whatever. I don't think it will bite me in the butt later. It's fine. I'll be the weird person who really likes robots.
It's
and their
gonna be
non-existent asses.
It's gonna be something I say that's gonna pull you down. So I'm gonna have to be like Dogeza style apologizing in the future. But yeah, I think that's what it is. Like, me saying whatever I want might be like some stupid stuff, or just fun and silly. But I'm not hiding like my alter ego, like super racist gray or like super offensive. Like, I'm
bagging on Asians when you're just a Californian dude, like buff Californian dude.
That's gonna bite me in the ass, because this is also us recording this. This is like not, this is not gonna go away, Blue. So
I know, yeah.
Watch out what you say, okay, about the rice fields and the rice bags. All right, Blue?
Yeah, and the fact that
that's all you talk about
Asian.
off stream. That's all you talk about off stream.
Yeah,
it's disgusting.
Talk about rice. It's gross. How dare we? Okay, next question. Next one's from Tosi. It says,
Thank you,
after
Matt.
having the sponsorship for your Outrider streams, how was the feedback from Square Enix? Did you even get any? Are you working on getting more sponsorships when you have the internet back, like for New Year, or maybe something totally different, or other sponsors? So we didn't get any feedback. It wasn't a paid sponsorship or anything like that. They were just kind enough to gift us the game, 2 copies actually.
Are we allowed to talk about
but
like how that all works? It's not in the thing that we can talk about, like, because what people think a sponsorship is and what I thought a sponsorship is changing a lot from especially even with bigger companies like Square Enix, we're allowed to talk about that, right? It's not like we can't talk about how we got the sponsorship and stuff
No,
like that.
we have to actually say how we got the sponsorship. That is something recommended that they say.
Okay.
And so we were able to basically, for how we got this sponsorship is we signed up on, there's a few websites where you can sign up for sponsorships, and which is basically you're signing up for a game key. And if you get a game key, then you have to either say it on stream, or you have to have something on your stream that says, or YouTube video or whatever content you're making with that game. You have to have it somewhere in the video and in the title that this stream or this video is sponsored by that company, or you were gifted the key by that company, and you have to actively say that.
So the thing is that when you see a lot of streamers have that sponsored by Square Enix, they just signed up to a form and then they looked at it, go, oh, that person is a partner, or this person has this many views, whatever, and then they go, here's the key. So it's not this Square Enix sama coming on like, hey,
We love your content.
Here you go.
Rep for us. It's not like that. It's more like, it's basically the company gets an extra, like, the company gets to sponsor their games, as in like they get to show their games through several different streamers, right? Content creators. And so it's a great way for them to market their game, get more people to see their game. And it's also a great way for content creators to get free keys. Well, free games, basically.
Which is like such a honor for us to even be, like because we asked for it, and then they said, yeah, here you go, and we're getting these amazing games for, we got Outriders. Outriders is a really interesting one, where the guy that really worked on it, super fucking passionate guy that worked on the game, is actually the guy that gives out keys at Square Enix. And Outriders was like part of his passion project that he was working with, and so this dude was like working so hard to like get keys out to influencers and all that stuff, and we're still like a tiny ant in the sea of content creators, and we're like, hey, like and we were like, we didn't want to be sleazy, but like we're like a duo stream, we like to show people that we would it be possible to get 2 keys, and he's like, yeah, here you go, man, go ahead. And he's just like, he
was super sweet,
super awesome dude. Like,
it's like we've never even talked to him before, and he's like, yeah, no, totally, yeah, and here you go, kind of thing.
We got his contact
very sweet
through somebody else that's been always getting it, and they're like, Blluist, well, why aren't you guys getting sponsored to do like the 14 stuff back in the day? And we're like, we never reached out.
We
didn't know that was a thing that you reach out, and there's like these websites that you can like sign up, that you can get keys for and stuff. But this guy for Square Enix, there's this guy that does it, and so it's just like,
I can't imagine the amount of work and stress he had to go through. Yeah,
and it's just it was very nice, and so that's where Outriders were. If there's a cool opportunity, people were sponsored in the same exact way with Monster Hunter Rise, and we didn't know that. And
we
then
didn't know they did,
we actually got the contact for that, for like Capcom and
future,
stuff too. So hopefully other Capcom games we can get it.
Yeah, because I mean, this whole time we thought like sponsorship was something that the company reaches out to you, or it's like this like exclusive contract where you are representing the company and you're basically like part of the team kind of thing, is what our view of sponsorship was. So we thought it was like this big hurdle where it's like, oh, the big content creators will get it because they're gonna get paid for shouting or like playing these kind of games, and that's what our view of sponsorship was. And we didn't actually think it was like a more, I guess, accessible approach, in that it's kind of like a mutual understanding between the company and the content creator, that you are both getting, like, you're both benefiting from each other, whether it be a free game or being able to market your game to more people. So,
and it makes us want to support the project more, and like if there's like merchandise and stuff, like it'd be cool to support it in that way. Or I know I'm all about it. I grew up with like buying merch and like posters and shirts and all that for bands, so I know how it is. But I like supporting people like that. But it's just like for us, just they care to even talk to us when we approach them. And I think for me, it's just really hard to reach out and say, like, can we get free stuff? We'll do our best. And unfortunately, when we played, the game wasn't in a stable place, so we couldn't play too much of it. But so every time we play that game, you'll see the sponsored by Square Enix.
And we do want to stream Outriders again, because I think we didn't get to play much of it.
I love that. The game's
before,
awesome.
and it was really fun. Yeah.
So That's how it is. Yeah, and this is not for all sponsorships. There's like actual like
there's different ones too,
like,
of course.
you know,
Yeah.
but it's
Someone
kind
we're
of
familiar with.
we're kind of like when you see small content creators getting sponsored, it's where it's like this it's mishmash. It's same word, so it's confusing, but it's a completely different thing. There's no actual like.
You're not getting a payout or anything like that,
nothing
extra
like that.
money or anything like that. It's more like
it's a lot more distanced, but it's like Square Enix dropping money because they know that when content creators are playing the game, enjoying it, it gets more people to buy the game. So it's
a great marketing system for them, and it's a great way for content creators to get games. Yeah. The thing is, like, I think there was also a part of me that was kind of, I didn't really think about reaching out to people or companies, just because, like, to me, buying a game that I really love isn't like a big issue for me. Like, it's like, I didn't think like, oh, I should try and get a free copy of this. It's more like, oh yeah, I love Monster Hunter Rise, of course I'm just gonna buy it. Like, I'm gonna pre-order it. Like, it's just, to me, that was the process. If I find a game that I like, my first thought is, oh, I'll pre-order it, I'll go buy it right now. Like, price doesn't really matter. And so I never really thought about like, oh wait, I love this game, I'm gonna stream it. Like, how about I'll try getting a sponsorship. Like, it's not, I'm not trying to say sponsorship is negative. It's just, to me, my thought process is always, oh, new game coming out, I love this, I'm gonna go buy it.
So it's a new perspective.
Yeah, so it's a new perspective on, well, I guess different ways that we could access games that we like.
Yeah, and so yeah, and mostly, like, to be like completely real, and it's pretty obvious, I think, but because people that watch stream are pretty, pretty smart, but most of the time they just do it because it just seems it makes you feel a little bit more special, and like,
and you do.
Yeah, and it's
cool.
It is what it is, and that's just the real thing. Like, there's no real benefit. Of course, you get the game, so
that's a huge benefit.
Yeah, huge
so
benefit.
Save a lot
you
of
get
money,
the game, but no real like you said, like,
it's not like you get more connections
like
with Square Enix or
unless
part
like pops off, like, unless your stream like pops off, and then like you get all in there. There's of course like the minuscule possibilities that are great, and we've worked really hard to get where we are right now, which gives us even the chance and to be able to get these codes, which is like
because not everyone can get accepted to get these codes either.
Exactly.
You have to meet a certain amount of specifications depending on the game.
It's
a lot of like indie games have lower specific like minimum with like followers and like viewers and whatnot, but it depends on the game, of course. But
that's how it is. Just that's like probably the realest way we can talk about. I mean, that's everything that happens. So
like, I mean,
hope that is a good answer.
Yeah, because we did there's a few games that we did apply for that we didn't get either. And so it's just, that's just kind of how it works. Is they look at your numbers and think like, okay, yeah, sure, you meet what we're looking for, or you don't.
And I can't wait. And to answer that second part of the question, Toasty, like, we will definitely aggressively go for more sponsorships now. Now that we know how it works, we have really good friends that tell us, like, hey, you can try going for this, So it's
I didn't even know they had one for Nier. I'll go try and sign up.
It's good stuff. All right, thank you so much, Toasty. Marty coming back, Baus coming in with a question. You must have seen Joey's mention of you guys on Trash Taste Podcast. Any comment / reaction? I like how he was like, how can you play Sekiro and split control and not argue? What's wrong with you? So we actually, somebody sent us that clip when it was the first time I saw that, and on Trash Taste he was talking about how we did the split control, like you said, like how we do not argue. I mean, it's fucking,
I don't know how we didn't argue.
I mean, yeah, that too about the Sekiro, but him mentioning it, like, it's like, thanks, like, it really, it means a lot, like, that he's actually like, because he's, like, caliber wise, like, I just see him as a friend, and I don't really, when I get to hang out with him, I don't think of him as like YouTuber or like, oh, it's the YouTuber Joey. Like, the way we got introduced to him was so casual, and we knew of him, of course, and whatnot, as a content creator, but he's like the realest dude. Like, every streamer we met is just really just real. So it's not it's so natural, and it's just like a friend talking about a friend. But then when you take it out of context and you see this guy that has like all these subs and doing really cool things on the internet, it kind of like shakes your head like, holy crap, like, you mentioned us,
He's talking about us.
But yeah, it's it's and he pops in chat, you know, and it's
Yeah.
just like, and I watch his streams too, and it's just there's definitely an imbalance where I just see him as a friend, and then when we're streaming and people are like, oh my god, it's Joey, and it's stuff like that, it's like I have to you kind of have to like recalibrate in my mind that it's kind of it's two different
He's not
things.
just a friend. He's actually like a big content creator too.
Yeah, and it's I mean, when we did the lockdown with him, like he was just like, yeah, like why don't we just try this, why don't we try that, and it was just like, it just seems super natural, and he's just like, I don't know how the fuck he stays so real with all the stuff he
And very
like
down
must
to
be
earth, yeah.
like it. It would get to my head, like I would need like a check. I feel like it really shows, and then it kind of proves that why he's where he is that he can still be such a real, like, just cool dude, even if and really understanding. He doesn't look at your numbers when you hang out. He just hates that shit. Like he's the truth. So it's like, and same with, you know, Ken and all the other people that we hang out with. So it's like it's a good sign, and I think we have a good radar for that. Thankfully, those people want to be friends with us, and it's really weird. It's very interesting. So yeah, thank you, Joey, and thank you, Marty, for mentioning that too, man. So many new things. This one comes from Matcha. Last question comes from Matcha. So many new things have happened. New apartment sponsorships, new relationships made through streams. How does it feel, and did you ever expect it to go this way, even if it was a certain extent?
No.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Everything that happens here and that's been happening in the last 2 years, good and bad, we didn't expect any of it.
I mean, streaming in general, we weren't expecting, because it was supposed to just be a way for me to kind of get out of my depressive little hole at the time. We weren't expecting that. I wasn't gonna make this my full-time job. It was just supposed to be a hobby in between jobs. It wasn't supposed to go anywhere. We weren't supposed to get people. We weren't supposed to be dedicating so much of time into this. Like, we weren't. Yeah, I mean, our previous place, we got it because we weren't streaming, and it was enough space for two people to live with a really cool living room. And then we started streaming, and then we started getting desks and computers, and it's like, okay, now we can't live here if this is what we're gonna do. And so this new apartment is something we probably would have never looked into if we weren't streaming.
Yeah.
Like, what were we, like, if we weren't streaming, what is this extra room for? Like, well, we wouldn't have needed an extra room.
Yeah.
So everything is like a chain reaction. Everything is because we started it those 3 years ago.
The thing, we started streaming to get Blue's mind off one thing, and then now we can't stop thinking about that thing. So it's completely just like, it's become definitely the biggest passion that we've ever had, and it's a peculiar thing that things have happened this way. And there are times when I like moved into the new place, and I just thought about, like you said, like we wouldn't be here, we wouldn't move here if we didn't start streaming.
Right? We met some really great people. I've made a lot of good friends. Like, we've made friends through streaming to the point where we hang out with them, like off stream now. Like, we've met these people through streaming, and we can actively just call them friends enough to go see them on our days off, or like go see him on a weekend kind of thing. So
and we're still like at the
little.
We're still like at the beginning of everything, which is so fucking exciting to me, that this is not even like, this isn't it at all. Like,
we just started.
This is just the beginning of it, and so it's like, how exciting is that to be so like, we're being like, our emotions and all of our like our like mental health and, you know, all that is being like thrown around in this like room, right, in this thing called, you know, streaming. It's like, it has that much effect on us, right, which means it's that important to us, and we're still at the beginning. And so it's just, that's super exciting to me that some people might say like 3 years super big. We got partnered at the end of last year, and
that was mid last year. Was it?
Yeah, last year. And so it's just the beginning. We got to begin again. So that was like a really cool thing. Of course, it's just a check mark, and everything. But to us it's a big, big mark, and it makes us like reborn. It's our new stage, and it's just really exciting that we're still only 3 years into this, and we're having so much fun and having so much like trouble too. Like, I think it's, if you didn't care about it, like shit like this, like if I did this at work, I wouldn't care about any of this stuff, like if it was normal work, like my day job. But a lot of things on streaming affect me, and it's just fun seeing that. And I know those are the moments where I go, oh, this is really important to me, and I put my heart and soul into this. So
I mean, now I can't really imagine doing anything else.
yeah, imagine,
Like,
right?
if this fails, I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life.
Yeah,
Like,
and
I really don't want to do anything else.
I'm gonna have to find something else. We have to take you like fishing or something, and then we'll.
No, I don't want to fish.
And then I'll start
I have
thinking
to
about
touch
wanting
bugs.
to stream it, and then it's gonna be another thing. So we gotta keep.
We're just gonna make sure this works.
Streaming on.
Yeah, let's go.
We're just gonna keep going. We just gotta keep going. But yeah, everything is like, not to put everything less weight on everything, but everything here is extra credit. Like, it's been the best. Like, and that doesn't mean it doesn't matter. It matters to me more than anything. But getting Blue's mind off it was the main thing. Everything after that, for the last 3 years, has just been, it just evolved into this fucking amazing thing.
It's great.
And we're still at the beginning. Like, we're not even at the, like, we've just bought the tickets to the race, and now we have to prove ourselves to actually run the race, So it's, we got that ticket to play in the bigger leagues, and I think I have confidence in our stream and our chemistry and the people that support us so much that I think like half of the stuff like in our credits is like people that watch us, right? Like our emotes are like that, like the opening ending screens like that,
That's helped us out. Yeah,
the banners when we get the Discord bumps, like when we get the banner, that's usually just community
something made
stuff.
with community. Yeah. And these questions are from you guys. Like, it's
we always think of ways to not to make a new creative way to interact with you guys, because
we know that we wouldn't be here if it weren't for you guys.
Yeah, and sometimes it just, and if it's just like making you guys smile, making you guys sad with the game that we play, or making you guys feel anything, we just want you. And maybe you guys get mad at us because we don't get to maybe get progress in a game as much or something, playing differently. That's okay too. Like, making you guys feel something is better than nothing. And hopefully we can be a somebody to you guys, and not just in anybody. So that's all we got. That's all we're working for.
That's all we're asking.
It's just been great, and you guys been so nice. And so it's no, didn't expect any of this, and couldn't even fathom at that moment, 2018, June 2019, June 1st, what the hell I was gonna get myself into. And it's, I can't ask for anything better. Even the ups and downs, it's here, but all together, holy crap, what a ride so far. And we're like, if this is the roller coaster, we're still here. There's the inevitable drop afterwards.
There's like bumps along the way, but
we're still at the first, sometimes it goes back a little bit, but we're still climbing up. It's
there's some technical difficulties,
Yeah, but fucking it's absolutely amazing, and it's all thanks to you guys. I've always said that. So, yeah, thank you, Matcha, for that question. And that's a wrap for episode 25.
Yeah.
So you said you wanted to mention the sponsorship stuff. The Toasties question.
Yeah, that actually answered it. So it was perfect. Yeah.
So we'll be back on. So we're filming this on a Sunday on our off day stream. We'll hopefully get it out today. We will. And Blue will be back on solo stuff. Get ready for some IRL stuff, some new game stuff. We have a whole list of games we want to get through. We do have our 3-year coming up that really haven't thought about what we should do.
I mean, your birthday's also coming up, so we'll have to do. We have some things planned for that, and
all I can say is, summer's coming around, my birthday's coming around, 3 years coming around, which means
games.
Horror time. All right, let's play some horror games. I'm excited for that. We'll see you guys in the next. I was about to say band podcast. Streaming on podcast. I hate it. It looks good. I think it looks good, but I don't like saying it. Can we call it something else? Let's just call it the podcast. How about that? Let's just don't mention the name of the podcast. Like, I think
SOSO.
Oh God. It's gonna take a little bit time for me to get used to this, but thanks for checking out the podcast. You guys are awesome. Stay sexy, stay cute, kawaii AF, and we'll see you guys in the next podcast. All right, we'll see you guys later.
Bye.